Apologies, Archon, but I needed to speak with you, and you alone. Oh, don't mind me, Kupo. I'll just be floating over here in perfect earshot. You... Makes you think I won't lay you low right here, right now. He's cute as fuck. Because we're here to offer you a proposition, that's what. We need information on the Golmar jungle, and thought a man as well-traveled as you might be persuaded to provide some. Golmar? You all creatures should know that is Viera land. What are you offering, then? Why, the opportunity to tell us what you know. Genomus believes our next adventure lies beneath the jungle canopy, Kupo. Should have expected as much. Very well, Archon. Came here to ask you if you would meet someone. Now it seems that someone may be able to assist Genomus as well. Seeing as you and the principal did right by us before, I did not see a reason why I cannot take both of you. Let me know when you're ready to depart for Rabanastra. We'll travel in our airship. The Prima Vista would draw too much unwanted attention. Trying to figure out how to get through the Viera land, and this dude thinks someone can help us. Who are you taking us to? I have just seen Mel's mention of a microplane. What are you doing? Back to a life of brigandage in the crowds, are we? Of course not. Not that it didn't cross our minds, but when faced with the decision of what to do next... We need to simply remember the dying words of our leader. Gijuk, Renok, and I decided to re-enlist as Dalmascan Fusiliers. They make whisks? I thought they were known for one thing. And the accompanying Garleans actually said yes, Kupo. Not exactly. We're now with the Resistance. You no doubt heard of the uprising in Dalmasca that followed the Doman liberation, and how it was crushed under the Iron Heel of the 4th Legion? Yes, definitely. Motorcycles. The resistance leaders were captured, tortured, and publicly executed. Yet much to the Empire's chagrin, the gruesome display served to further rally the survivors. Remove 1 head and 2 grow back in its place. Remove 2 and then there are 4. Person can die. But an ideal will live on. Now there exist several factions throughout Dalmasca. We belong to one known as Lentes Tears. We told our commanding officer of our recent crossing with you and yours. She simply insisted that we introduce you. Me? But I wasn't even supposed to be here, Kupo. I don't think you will ever get a better close-up of a Moogle. Not you, Hairball. Him. Meet with the General and hear a proposal, Archon. If you're not interested, we shall return you to Kagani unharmed. You have our... Quirrell got your tongue? Rabanastra dead ahead, lads. This way. We've many moms to cover before nightfall. Done as you ask. I bring you the Liberator. Here, I thought he'd be taller. Why does everyone keep saying that? Do it. Viera! I'm Fran, proud daughter of Damaska and General of Lente's Tears. Fran! Fran! Yes, Moogle, I am a Fiera. Are you surprised? Why, yes, in fact I am. Our kind are all supposed to be living amongst the trees, having shunned contact with the outer world, Kupo. Supposedly a few have left their homes, but I most certainly did not expect to see one here in this sewer. Indeed. This Banga claims you seek Orban. Does he speak true? Those ruins lie deep within the Galmor jungle, a place most sacred to my sisters. They would take great offense were you to defile it with your presence. What is more, Wagi tells me you travel with Garleans, openly aiding those who would see our nation burn. How can we place our trust in one who would do such? Defected ages ago. My blade has tasted the blood of too many Garleans to count, even if I don't have a blade, but you know. I have cat fists. Cat fists. And then you know the Empire and its people are one and the same. When you slay an Imperial soldier, you're not slaying an individual, you're slaying the enemy. Your companions, Liberator, are the enemy, despite their supposed change of heart. You misunderstand. King Genomus does not approve of the Emperor's warmongering. He wants to help Damaska and its impoverished masses, Kupo. And what would a Moogle know about my people? Does your blood run Damascan red? Could cut you open and find out. General, there is no need for threats. Wow, rude. I am not short. You're right, Proggy. Let us then parley. Parley? Parley. First, the resistance requires men. Men and women from the Orzian and Eastern alliances to join us in ridding Damask of its imperial invaders. Your past deeds have made you well known to the leaders of both. They will listen to you, or if not, they will listen to the science of which you claim allegiance. No, the source is visible. Second, the resistance requires gold. Gold to strengthen our forces from within. Your allies are in bed with the East Eldenard Trading Company, which continues its dealing with Garlemald even as you raise your sword against them, profiting from the Empire's rampant aggression. As targets of that aggression, I believe my people are entitled to a portion of those profits. Grant me these simple things, and I shall personally guide you safely to the ruins of Orban. And what are the Lexentals? See me to victory, and I'll take the Emperor himself. Those are my conditions. What say you? Deliver your quest to the Scions, but can promise no more. Told you. Tell them my demands. But know the fate of your expedition hangs on how well you do so. Maybe. I'd say we were cut out for us, Kupo. Woggy, you have the liaison who accompanied the Liberator. I expect a detailed report on how my demands are received. Yes, General. Just usually when it has an issue, it's the audio that doesn't play, not the visuals. Not that I care. The visuals really aren't that important. I don't have any custom stuff set up for them. Not that I expect them to be taken seriously. You're a fool to trust them, Princess. Solipsism. What an adventure, Kupo. Just think. By tomorrow we could all be the newest members of the Dalmascan Resistance. Not that I'm ready to give up my place in the Prima Vista just yet. Hurry, hurry! If I don't tell someone of our adventure quick, I'll positively burst, Kupo! I got to leave this ship and do something! Do you seek passage to the Prima Vista? Solipsism is a philosophical theory that you're the only real person and everything else is your hallucination. This woman asks much of us. If Vera have ever been wary of outsiders. For centuries, their many tribes have remained hidden in the jungles, content with their self-imposed solitude. Each tribe has its own strict code, and will meet swift punishment to any who would defy those laws. This is very odd music. As such, many of Viera will spend her entire life bound to the territory of her ancestors, both unwilling and unable to venture beyond its borders. And while the tribes are wholly independent, they have agreed to uphold a single standard. Shun all contact with the outside world unless it is to protect the jungle. That said, with every generation there are those Viera who long for life beyond the verdant sea of trees and abandon their tribes to start a new life in the kingdom cities. My guess is that this Fran is one such individual. Who also happens to be the only individual we know who can guide us to the monastery, Kupo. See, Archon's Swords of Art won't be enough to see us through this predicament. He'll need to don the right mantle of a diplomat if we're to convince the alliances in the East Eldonor Trading Company to grant us aid. What could go wrong? Would you like an itemized list, or... Or is everything sufficient? Yes, I know. You said not to call unless it was urgent, but this is urgent. Alright, not exactly, but my superiors have come to a decision on your request, and I thought you might want to hear what they had to say. Oh, and let me preempt any request for immediate disclosure with a reminder that the information is much too sensitive to discuss over Link Portal. Maybe at the Ruby Bazaar post-haste, and I shall duly apprise you of their judgment. Well then, Archon, what are we waiting for? I'm gonna go on a limb here and guess the answer is some variation of, yeah, sure, fine. I read about how you united the whole of Eorzea under a single standard to convince the Holy See to end a 1,000-year conflict. Compared to that, asking for your few soldiers and a coffer or 3 of gil should be a piece of roll and berry cake. I suppose we should inform Boggy down at Kugani Landing of our progress. You mentioned he was to keep an eye on us. Okay, but what if you just show me where the monastery is. You have an answer from the East Elm Lord already? Impressive. It seemed the Lady Fran was It would seem the Lady Fran has underestimated your influence among the realm's players. I assume you have no objections to me joining you then? Yeah, I'm like kinda really important. Mostly because I just kinda stare at people and go, I'll let the next primal get ya. Hancock awaits us in the bazaar. Shall we, Archon? Hancock, don't be a dick. Give me what I asked for. Lovely lady, and Bonga? I was expecting you to be alone, Archon. Oh, but excuse my manners. I am Hancock, representative of the East Eldenard Trading Company assigned to oversee your assets here in Kugane. It is a pleasure to meet you. Tataru! And I am Yuguri. We apologize for making you come all this way. Not that it is that far from the landing to... Wagi, was it? I serve Lord Hien, rightful ruler of Doma. I have come bearing our nation's reply to your entreaty. And I am Tataru of the Scions of the Seventh Dawn. I'm only here saying as no one else could be bothered. Well, that and to bear a message from the leaders of the Orzian Alliance. Thank you both for coming. I am Wagi, formerly of the Damascan Royal Fusiliers. I now claim allegiance to Lente's Tears, a resistance group seeking to accomplish what you have in Doma and Alamigo. Tidings have you brought us? Allow me to begin then. While the East Eldenard Trading Company sympathizes with your plight, we are not in a position to grant you the funding you seek. Wrong answer. As you're aware, the East Eldenard Trading Company prides itself in its neutrality, be it in matters political or personal. And what of our relationship with the Orzian Alliance? Ah, yes. What I meant to say was, here in Hingashi, the East Elnar Trading Company prides itself on its neutrality, be it in matters political and... You must understand our position. Simply supplying coin to any one group would make it appear that we somehow favor that group over another. Seeing as we conduct business openly and fairly with everyone, doing such would be sending the wrong message, and ultimately harm profits, yes. And by selling to both sides, you maximize profits while good men and women perish. How convenient. Your business, milady. We do what we must to survive. That does not mean, however, we are blind to the needs of our customers or our allies, which is why we support the Orzian Alliance in their noble efforts to safeguard their realm's freedom through a mutually beneficial arrangement. If it were my choice, I would provide your little resistance with all the funding it needs. But as my good friend Archon knows all too well, it is not my choice. Oh, I'd love to help you, but it's not my choice. Well, now that Hancock's thoroughly lowered your spirits, you won't be as crestfallen when I inform you the Orison Alliance will also be unable to provide any assistance. And let me guess, you did everything in your power to try and convince the leaders of each city-state, only to watch as they politely declined our proposal, claiming an unfortunate lack of intelligence or resources. Wait, how did you... Lord Hien sends his greetings to you and yours, having recently found strength through a newly formed alliance with our neighboring nations. Doma is open to further welcoming like-minded organizations. This includes our Dalmascan brothers and sisters still suffering under the Imperial yoke. However, word has that the latest attempt at reclaiming your kingdom ended in failure, resulting in the loss of countless lives, including many of the Resistance's leaders. You're not mistaken. Our army is not what it once was. Those remaining have been forced to take refuge deep beneath the streets of Rabanastra. The 4th Legion has already defeated you once. Lacking unity and leadership, the current resistance will not survive another tilt against the Empire's disciplined ranks. If Doma is to join hands with Damaska as an ally, you must first prove to us that you shall stand as one. Doma as a full-fledged ally would serve far better to strengthening our cause than a few temporary soldiers. Yet even if we were able to wrest Damaska from the Empire's grasp, without unity amongst your people, the resulting chaos could prove even more perilous to the kingdom. You understand much of our situation. And based on that understanding, you would refuse your aid to Lente's tears. Am I correct? Do not mistake me. Lord Fien's refusal is but a message. A message to help you plan your next step. You have a wise master. He understands that without proper planning, driving one enemy from your midst simply creates room for the next. Lady Fran will be pleased to hear that your response was exactly what she expected. You knew this whole time that your demands would be rejected, you let this farce play out? You have my apologies, but this was all necessary to prove an important point to our leader. Lady Fran needed to show the princess just exactly what she was getting herself into. And your honesty today will serve us better than any hollow promise. Thank you. Wait, what about the Golmar jungle? Can you believe this? We're back to where we started. Prince Genomus will not be pleased.